See, we don't got no drummers at the Cavs games, but we will be watching.
Let's go.
At Rocket
What about the
Mortgage
Q
Fieldhouse.
sticks? Have you ever seen the Q sticks? They got
216
buckets and stuff.
sticks.
Oh yeah, now they're the 216 sticks because it's not the Q anymore.
Yeah.
Now they're the 216 sticks and they got buckets and stuff and they're going to hell on
In
them.
Loudville, we about to get that. By the way, I do think the Cavs really have a really good home court advantage. Like, I think they got one of the best home crowds in the game.
People hate playing there.
It's
Teams hate
loud.
playing there.
It's raucous, but we're gonna get an opportunity to see tonight again. I think they play the Magic tonight,
Yeah,
right?
Orlando,
They play the
yeah.
Magic, and before we dig into that game, I just want to let everyone know Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan
They out.
Mobley, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, all sitting out tonight. due to rest.
Should be.
Oh
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just good.
Any problems with that?
It's the Chetty game. Let's go, Chetty.
It's just good politics now because
Yes.
you've already qualified for the playoffs, right? You got 2 games to finish out the regular season. These 2 games mean nothing, right? You don't want to take a chance on anybody getting hurt.
Got home court.
Right, and so this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right, so you're preparing the guys. Anybody got any last-minute injuries, nicks, everything else? It's time to heal it up.
You'd be mad if you did see.
Yeah,
Donovan
I'll be mad.
Mitchell in
Well,
JB
there have been a couple coaches,
don't wanna
Mike,
take
that
that
have
heat.
done dumb things like
Yeah.
playing their starters
Yep.
in meaningless games and then somebody getting hurt. Right.
Yeah.
So you got to play the odds here.
Yep.
Now,
I want
'cause I'm a-
Chetty, Isaiah Mobley,
Yeah.
Neto. Is that his name? Neto?
Yeah, Neto.
Lopez.
I want him. I want those guys in there.
Yeah.
I want if Isaiah Mobley has a younger brother, I want him playing as a starter for the Cavs. I don't want to see anybody who could get injured in any way playing for the next 2 games.
Let me ask you guys this, because there's a little bit of a difference here. And I asked Bull this the other day on the show. There's times when LeBron was here where, like you knew the team was good. You knew either they was going to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals, right? This team, for the first time since Price, Doherty, Nance, and those teams, the team is good, but you don't know just
You don't know how good
they are.
We're about to find out.
What are your thoughts about that, Mike, in terms of what is your feeling about the playoffs? Is it apprehensiveness? Is it what's your feeling when you think about the team?
I feel what everybody else feels. I feel what the common Cavs fan feels. I feel what NBA experts like yourselves feel probably. And
I ain't no expert.
All right, well, whatever. I just feel
told him.
like we don't know. And we're going to have to wait and see what these people have. I do love that Mitchell has playoff experience. I love that he's got the dog in him that these other players would not have without him. He's got that extra gear. I mean, you see it, turning it on. And I love what JB did, amping up his minutes towards the end of the season, making sure that he gets his wind going into this. There's a reason that he had 4 40-point games in a row, and it's because he left him in there when he maybe didn't necessarily have to be in there because he wants him to get up to that speed and get like stoked like that, which I think is a really smart move. But we don't know how these other guys are going to gel around him. That's the question. I believe in him during the playoffs. That's why I think I'm excited about the playoffs because of Donovan Mitchell's refusal to lose and refusal to give up through this whole thing, through this whole season, the regular season. He cares about these regular season games. So I'm excited to see but they need his leadership in these playoffs. They just don't, I don't feel like they have. Do you feel like they have anybody else who can lead them over the breach, Brad? Like who can be like, you guys follow me. Evan Mobley is never going to be like, guys, get on my back, follow me. Screw these guys. He's not. But you have Donovan Mitchell, and that's why we got him is for these moments. That's why I have to watch the Thin Finn, Lauri Markkanen, lighten it up in Utah and stuff like that. And I'm happy. I wouldn't change it for anything. But we got to watch this guy averaging like 24 points a game, and we sacrifice all of this. We sacrifice these draft picks because you have to have a Donovan Mitchell on your team at this point in the season. Through the regular season, it's okay, but right now it is necessary to have somebody like Donovan Mitchell on that team, and that's why I have faith in us, but I also don't pretend to know how it's going to go. Brad?
Well, I sit here now, I agree with Mike that Donovan Mitchell was brought here to lead this team because they had nobody here that was really prepared to do that, right? So you have to have a go-to guy down the stretch, and I think you can see at least in the last 4 games, why you have a guy like Donovan Mitchell here. I was a guy who had followed him in his career in Utah, and I knew what probably was coming our way, and it has materialized just as I thought it would. Second thing is here that we don't know how good this team's going to be yet, right? We know they're good. They've won 50 games with a chance to win 52, right? But as you look forward, we're only going to tell in these game contests ahead. Now, I'm going to tell people here, we'll be first to tell you, this 4-5 matchup with the Knicks is going to be tough. It's probably a 6-gamer.
Yeah.
Maybe a 7-gamer. it's not a 4-gamer.
No,
It's not a 4-gamer.
I wouldn't foresee 4 games at all.
Right. So this is a 4-5 matchup. Typically, I don't care where you at. Those are probably the 2 most even teams playing one another. So this thing should go
it's not
a heavy stick, and I'm looking for some primetime games on from TNT and everything else. You got New York playing in the finals. I mean, playing in the opening round, right? Donovan Mitchell, the backdrop of him being close to from the New York area. So you got that going on. But I would just tell you what, you're gonna need performances from Darius Garland.
Talk about it.
Somebody's got to step up.
You're gonna need Evan Mobley, right, to play. This is where everybody's gonna get checked.
Yeah.
Right? This is not the 82-game regular season. This is the games where I'm only preparing for 48 minutes, right? I just got to get out the day. I don't need to worry about 4 games down the road. Just got to get out the day to get to the next day, right? And this is where I can design things like, oh, you hurt me today? I'm taking all that away from you tomorrow.
Brad, when you were a young guy, like Evan Mobley, right? You know where he's been at. He's been at 15, 16 a game.
Yeah.
You know what he's giving you defensively. When you were a young guy and you had the established pecking orders of who the guys that was going to step up, what is the mindset of a young guy in a playoff game to where do you think he has it in him to recognize I got a matchup tonight or I feel it tonight for him to turn on and say, guys, come on over here come on down here because I got something going on? Is that something that he's able to do now, or do you think that might not be in him yet? That might be something he had to develop.
I think he's learning on the job, right? And the one thing I like about it, because I think one of the questions we were going to ask today was, what about his game? How does he get better, right? The one thing I like now is that he's doing things that he's comfortable with doing. Right? People think that he had to expand his repertoire. You don't have to expand nothing, right? No. Just do the things you do very, very well, and then add maybe a piece or two, and stop trying to be something you're not. Like, Evan Mobley's never going to be a guy to bring you off the dribble. He's never. And people say, why can't he learn to bring you off the dribble? Well, he plays straight up and down. He's too tall. He just plays straight up and down. He's not a guy that has grown up on the dribble, on the bounce. Like, I grew up on the bounce. I knew exactly what to do, right? He can't do that, right? And anytime you put him in that position, it's going to be very awkward for him. But when he's gotten better is when he's around that basket and just finishing around there with his inside moves, dunking the ball, playing that way, blocking shots.
Defense.
I said, that's when he's at his best.
Yeah.
Now, we'll grow some things from there. They talk about, he make a couple threes, but he's not no three-point guy. He ain't Steph Curry. He'll never do that, right? Do what you do the best, right? And grow it from there. But when you start trying to do 1,000 things, so he's gotten better playing that way. Donovan Mitchell has gotten better because he's been steady. Garland has learned, you're not the closer here.
Right.
The dude is the closer. The closer is 45, and now he's starting to see why he's the closer, right?
So imagine going into this playoffs right now if we did not have Donovan Mitchell and we were just counting on the leadership of Evan Mobley, Lauri Markkanen, Darius Garland, people like that who are still on this team. That's why Donovan Mitchell gives us the edge, because Mobley's not going to be like, guys, follow me into the breach. Bless his heart. Yeah. He plays his role. Right. He knows his role. He's good at it. We can't expect anything more of him. We can't change his personality. The guy loves playing Rubik's Cubes and stuff like that. He's a juggler, apparently. Like, he likes doing that kind of stuff. Darius Garland wants to win. He's got that instinct, and that's what gives us the edge in this playoffs.
I tell you what, I like where we are. Right? I like how they position this team now. We're not very deep.
No.
We're not very deep.
Team Wade. Sorry, I just sneezed.
I said,
Brett, we'll get into those issues in a sec, but you touched on something I wanted to ask anyway, so I want Polk and G. Bush to get a chance to respond to that. But you were a guy who knew how to, as a big, to take guys off the dribble.
Right.
For Mobley to unlock that next step in his offensive game, which may not be able to happen with Donovan and Darius here controlling the ball as much as they do, but for him to take that next step and becoming a true unicorn in the league, do you think it'd be more beneficial for him to become a better three-point shooter or to have some sort of game where he can attack off the dribble to kind of unlock the rest of his offensive potential?
So when you say attack off the dribble, I mean, are we talking about 2 dribbles and a pull-up? Mike, he's never going to be that. He's not that. You can get better at it, but he's not that. Either you have it or you don't have it. He's just not built like that, right? It's like me. I'm not built to be Shaquille O'Neal. I can't go down there and do what Shaq and them was doing down there. I might be the same size, right? But he can't do what I do. He cannot bring it off the dribble. That's not his strong suit. And you saw it early in the year. Every time they put him in that position, he looked crazy, right? He looked like he was learning on the job. And I was like, that can distract from your confidence. Right? And when he has gotten better, it's because JB and the staff has put him in positions to be better just doing this. And when he has done that, he has excelled, right?
Yeah.
Now I still want some growth out of you,
Yeah.
but I'm not expecting you to do every little thing here.
So to me, I think incrementally, so basically, dribbling a basketball is like driving a car, right? Sometimes you trust somebody to drive you to the corner store, but sometimes you don't trust nobody to drive overnight in the mountains of West Virginia when you're on a trip.
Oh, no.
You like, hold on.
Right.
It's a level of experience that go with that. Like, are you tired? Do you know how to drive at night?
How many drinks have you had?
I'm gonna give Mike a comparison. This is for everybody listening to. Mike, you remember when Magic Johnson was at Michigan State and he was the 6'9" point guard, bringing up, and everybody was like, nobody had ever seen it before, right? And when he got to the NBA, nobody had ever seen it before. Do you know the NBA tried to find every 6'9" guy to be the point guard?
Right.
And it was like some horrific experiments.
It wasn't great.
Because either you have it or you don't.
And so to that point, you either have it or you don't. See, I don't need Evan Mobley to be able to drive the ball all the way down 90 feet and give somebody a move, a Euro step on somebody. What I need him to do is to be able, it's called continuous one-on-one. You got 3 dribbles. So I need you either hesitate, pull up. I need you to back down, shimmy.
Yeah,
I need you to.
that's it.
I need you to get a quick step. I need you to rip through and get through. So these are things that you can make your game better, because now if you can get to where you want to go in 3 dribbles, now it unlocks a lot of things. Now that jump hook, instead of having somebody all in your face from standing flat foot, now you got a little space. You create a little space. You got a little more touch. And one thing he has excelled at is finishing around the rim. I love the way he's never rushed. He never really brings the ball down. He pump fakes and utilizes the ball well. So he's always dunking and finishing that.
Where he can get good at is 15 and then free throwing in, Mike, if he hitting jumpers, right, just unlocking that, doing that. I mean, because he has to create fear. Like, I'm going to shoot this
At least
ball.
the expectation that you might make
he might shoot this thing, right?
Yep.
He ain't going to be like they was doing Iowa versus South Carolina where the one girl, Caitlin Clark, backing off the girl, like, go ahead and shoot the ball.
Yeah,
they ain't doing that. Right? So you have to be able to elicit fear out of people to unlock the other portions of your game.
He does need to get away from the three-point line.
Oh,
Really, I did see this. He is, of the people who have taken the amount of three-point shots that he is like all-time 20th worst percentage shooting. He's at like 21% from three-point line. Is that right? Is that in there? Okay.
That is 21%.
That's not great. That is not a strong.
No, because he wasn't practicing, never jacked them. Right?
I know, so don't do that. We have either you have people who can do that, or learn to do it and then come back into the game and do it. You know, but doing it during this year, it's like, and I do feel like, I know this is the 3rd time I brought up Lauri Markkanen, which is the most he's ever been brought up on a sports show. But the reason that he is averaging like 24 points a game or something like this year is because Utah doesn't have a lot of options. You know, obviously the Cavaliers have options. So do you hinder the growth of a potentially amazing player by having a good team that has other options? You know, where he's not forced to be the nexus of that offense. You know, so that's the sacrifice you make when you have a good player on a good team. You might sacrifice some of his development because he doesn't develop that confidence. He doesn't have to shoot as many threes. Nope. He doesn't have the opportunity to shoot that much.
What we're looking for out of Lauri Markkanen, what we're looking for out of Evan Mobley is this: play well in this playoff run here. Let's see if you because he's gonna get pushed today. The New York Knicks front line is not bad, right? It's not bad at all.
Come on now,
right? They're gonna try to rough him up a bit, right?
Tibbs are gonna have him ready to go. They're gonna rotate.
I said so. This is where we're gonna see how much work you're gonna have to do this summer to get better.
Now to me the spotlight isn't really on Mobley, because as much as he gives you offensively, he's gonna give you top-notch defensive ability. So he's gonna bring his game to him and Allen gonna bring what they bring. To me, it hinges on the $200 million man, Darius Garland, because now. You know what Mitchell gonna give you. Now it's about whether Darius Garland can figure out where his spots are. And sometimes he's going, like when you unlocked Kyrie Irving and LeBron, I went back and they'd be showing the old reruns. What made them so doggone crazy was like, it was just like they was relentless. Like LeBron was 40, Kyrie 40.
Yeah.
And and usually my turn, your turn don't be working. But at the highest levels, I've only seen it work two ways. I've seen Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas get it off. And I see LeBron and Kyrie get it off, where it's just like, oh no, you gonna have to. I'm a headache today.
Yeah.
So to me, Darius Garland still needs to actually walk a fine line, because most of Jared Allen, high handoffs, dump offs. I need to get Evan Mobley a couple shots. But when the fourth quarter comes, he need to be able to get his too.
Darius is gonna have his hands full, because Brunson is no joke.
Man,
This 4 or 5 matchup is going to be nice. Brunson is no, and Brunson is hungry, right? Brunson has had playoff experience. He's hungry, right? So Garland about to see somebody here, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to see him for 6 to 7 good games here, right? So it is all about how you respond in these moments. So what you can say about LeBron and Kyrie, they responded.
Yeah.
When Curry and them pushed them to the limit, they responded.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to see. Now, what has also been known to happen, Mike, is you also can see people collapse here. Yep. So you don't want to be on the collapse side here.
I don't
because
see Evan Mobley doing that, though. I don't.
No, I don't
think
see
he's
Evan Mobley.
consistent.
No,
I
no.
think he's consistent.
It's the others.
Two things.
The ones that have not been tested.
But two things that need to happen to Evan Mobley, in my opinion, for him to reach the next level. One of them is he needs to fill out. He needs to go that Giannis route, where, remember when Giannis was like his first year, he looked like Tom Brady when he was drafted, like a skinny little high school kid and stuff like that. And now you look at him and he's just he's an Adonis. We need that jump to happen somehow physically, and some of that is just luck of anatomy, luck of genetics. We've just got to hope that all of a sudden Evan Mobley's like, oh my gosh, I'm huge now. That's one of it. The other thing is something terrible. I don't wish this upon you, Evan Mobley, but something pretty awful has to happen to him to inspire him and make him mean in some way. I don't know if it's got to be a John Wick thing. His wife has to pass away. Someone has to do something to his dog. He's got to get some dog in him. He's got to get mean. He does not have that right now. He's working on Rubik's Cubes too much. He's learning to juggle. We need something tragic to happen to Evan Mobley, but I hope it's not too tragic, but something's got to inspire him to get angry in some way, and I don't know if he has that in him ever.
I will say this: Mobley's skill set, I think he'll exponentially get better.
I think he'll be fine.
He'll be all right. I think I'm just excited to see what it is. And when you said they being in the Garden 6 games, man, I got chills a little bit. That's where it's at, man. That's where I want to definitely get to. I mean, because let me ask you: do you have time to do the Caitlin Clark stuff now? I know we got Mo Williams coming up at 12.
Yeah,